Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Wilson here at Haven Hospice on Phillips Highway with my friend Bubba Schlader.
Good morning.
And this is 7 Minutes for Seniors. This is going to be our first segment. So, like I was telling Bubba, this is your opportunity to talk about who you are and what you do. You do something very unique. And I think in the 2 years that I've been going to networking meetings, I think I can almost do your elevator pitch
I'm
because you
predictable.
say the same thing every
I
time, and I
still,
love it.
I'm still doing the same
I
thing.
love it.
I don't need to
I
change
love it.
anything.
I love it. So we'll just get started with the first question. Bubba, who are you? Who's Bubba Schlader?
Well, I am married. I have two grown daughters, two grandchildren. I've lived in this area for 40 years. My education and background is CPA, and then I own my own business. Larger small business in this area for 30, a little over 30 years. I sold it like 12 years ago and decided to go back to my roots in accounting and financial planning, and I found this niche market.
Yeah,
And the senior population is growing rapidly. The greatest, the largest generation in world
mm-hmm.
history is getting old.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of need. So I reached out and they kind of pointed me toward the elder care industry
Mm-hmm.
and the need for people to plan for elder care, which is an important part of retirement planning as well. So those are the two things I do. I help people plan ahead for long-term care, and I help people that can't afford long-term care. I call that crisis planning. I help them to be able to afford the care they need.
Right.
And so oftentimes, we look at income assets and all that. Oftentimes we have to look to government benefits. So there's only two, the Department of Veterans Affairs and Florida Medicaid. So those are your two options there as
Yeah,
far as getting people government assistance to get the care they need. Uh,
absolutely.
so, like I say in my in my elevator speech, financial solutions for long-term care are all I do.
I feel
So
like when I say it with your accent too.
before
That's all
you
I
got to get.
do.
And by the way, about me, I'm a Florida native. I was born and raised in Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay.
So that accounts for the accent.
There's nothing wrong with it.
So
There's nothing wrong with it. I think you were probably like one of the first people that I met when I started coming to networking meetings, and I was like, I like this guy. He's awesome. He's awesome. So you alluded to it. What's the name of your company? How do people find you?
Elder Care Financial Planners. I have a website, which is it's long but it's easy. Planforlongtermcare.com. Planforlongtermcare.com.
All four-letter words.
And yeah, I never thought about that.
Well, except for
Uh,
four. Four is a three-letter word, but it actually never mind.
yeah, it's kind of long. I can be emailed at that address, Schlader at planforlongtermcare.com.
That's going to show
I
up at
have
the
a
bottom of your screen, and at the end of every segment, you'll see his email address, his website, planforlongtermcare.com. Keep going.
and I have a phone number, which you will have on there.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's how you get a hold of me.
Okay.
Or through most assisted living facilities and independent and a lot of the home care agencies
Yeah.
refer to me for government benefits. So
Yeah.
I'm in the elder world in
Absolutely.
Northeast Florida.
And that's the reason, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, because you do something different than anybody else at any of these meetings does, because you help people with their finances, but you also, from the beginning, I've been calling you because I have spouses of deceased veterans that
Yeah,
need help with those benefits. And I don't hear anybody else standing up saying that they help spouses. A lot of times they stand up and say that they're helping veterans, but the cool thing about you is that you're there for the spouses of these deceased veterans who were disenfranchised from the VA from the beginning.
yeah, and that and that's huge. because these widows certainly spend a great deal of their life, if their husbands, usually husbands,
Mhm.
were injured or something. Who's taking care of them?
Right.
The spouse.
Yep.
For years and years.
Yep.
And so they should rightly know what their benefits are. But they're, veterans and spouses are in the same boat. Most of them are, excuse my term, ignorant of VA benefits because VA doesn't do a very good job of educating.
No.
And we're talking about older years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 50 years after these veterans separated from service, they're not going to remember what their benefits
No.
are.
No.
They just aren't. And, it's a myth that most veterans utilize the VA healthcare system, which is where the ones that do are probably going to be informed by their medical teams.
Mm-hmm.
If they get like an Agent Orange presumptive illness, let's say they get congestive heart failure, their medical team's probably going to make them aware that they are entitled to a disability benefit.
Yeah.
So healthcare and disability in the VA are two separate animals.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't communicate very well either. But most veterans aren't in that healthcare system. So, 50 years after they separated from service, they don't have anybody to remind them.
Right.
Yeah. Some of the service organizations do a pretty good job. American Legion, VFW, and they're made. Good percentage of their population, I think, is made up of wartime veterans.
Absolutely.
So they get the word out there. But in general, veterans just aren't informed. Of what these benefits are and never dreamed they existed.
Well, Bubba, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for being on 7 Minutes for Seniors. Y'all check it out. Go check out Bubba's website. Go follow him. And if you know anybody in the area that can use his assistance, feel free to reach out to him. All of his contact information is coming up next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris, and you're a good friend and a huge asset to the elder community in Northeast Florida.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, bud.
Yes, sir.
Right. Y'all have a good day. See ya. Awesome.
Well, that was fun.
Simple, right?